Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special event this evening. It's a quadruple header, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's right. 4 races.
Yeah, this is, I mean, this is as wacky as it gets.
Yep.
I'll tell you that right now.
So we got Larry and Coach on deck. After that, we got myself versus League Sevens, and then me versus Choke. And then the nightcap will be Choke versus BGT. So a full evening's worth of wacky races this evening.
Yeah, not bad. This is good stuff.
What do you think about this first match, Buzz? Who do you think's gonna be? Who's your favorite? Larry versus Coach.
Larry versus Coach. Well, from what I've seen, I would have to give Coach the edge just because Larry has yet to finish a race.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the main reason why I say that. So yeah. I don't think he's put up a time any less than 99 minutes and 99 seconds.
2 forfeits so far, although we have to give Larry some credit here. He's been sick, so.
Yes, that is true. He seemed like he was very ill for a while there, and so hopefully he's better and can get through this. But yeah, Coach has not had nearly as much time to practice, so we'll see what happens here. It could be very close.
Yeah, I think this will be a reasonably fairly even match, but we'll find out as these racers get underway. So, what's your opening strategy, Buzz? What order do you like to take these first few power-ups?
Anybody who's starting this game, I would strongly recommend prioritizing the feather or the hover. I don't know what it's actually called, honestly. But that is by far the most important thing in the game, because in a lot of situations, your attack, it doesn't really matter. But that is the best for survivability, I think. You want to get that and then health.
So we have an early death by Coach here. It's going to give Larry a pretty big lead to start out.
Yeah, that was towards the end of the level too. So that's a pretty big backtrack right there.
Yep.
So gave Larry probably about 20 seconds or so.
It's still early though, so lots of things can happen.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen all sorts of things happen coming to mind. I mean, especially with that Coach versus Josh that was one of the more lopsided and outlandish finishes that I've seen.
Yeah, for those of you who, well, maybe we won't spoil that one. You should go back and rewatch that race. It was an interesting one to be sure. So Larry's on this first boss. I don't remember any of these bosses' names.
Yes, I was gonna study and have a list up here, because they have some pretty wacky names. I didn't try to say that on purpose, but yeah, they're pretty good.
Alrighty, no problem.
Larry cruising, getting past that first boss, and Coach facing the first boss right now.
Oh really? I need to refresh these streams then real quick, because I must be behind. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that usually happens. No, it's all right. I'll try to slow down a bit. That usually happens to the restream when when you have so many things going at once.
Yeah, Larry's stream in particular seems to be stuttering for me. I don't know why. Doesn't seem like my internet's having any troubles, but... So, these racers not too far apart. Maybe 20-30 seconds, you think?
Yeah, I'd say about 30. Larry has a 30-second lead, and he's looking good here in the early stages.
Yeah, he's looking a lot better than the past 2 races that I've seen him. That one against you in particular, he was really struggling, so...
Yeah.
Are you having trouble with Larry's stream? Because I am having some problems with it.
No, I've had no lag on the multi-twitch. Oh, I need to get your chat up here. What am I doing? Amateur hour.
So Larry is on the second boss here now. This is the army surplus guy. His little tank car. Oh, Dr. Lobster's got the list of cars up, so he's doing our job better than we are, apparently.
Oh, you put those up in chat?
Yeah. So, stage 2 clear for Larry. He moves on to stage 3. It should be noted that we still got a lot left to go, and anything can happen, but if Larry keeps this up, I believe we'll have a tie in this group. The Scooby Doobies.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That was another reason why I was favoring Coach Crab in this, because Larry admitted that he doesn't like this game and didn't think that he wanted to play, but I think out of the spirit of the competition, he's still gonna go for it.
Yeah, so it would be a three-way tie.
It might force him to play. Yeah. Oh. All right, we'll see how far ahead I am of you there.
You must be pretty far ahead because I have not seen anything bad. Okay, there it is. Yeah,
Larry taking a pretty bad death there, almost all the way through the section of this level. That's that closes the gap very significantly here. So his 30-second lead looks like it just went down to about 5 or 6 seconds.
I'm gonna try and refresh these one more time because Coach's stream is working great, but Larry's stream is, for whatever reason, not cooperating. Give me 1 second here, folks.
So both of our runners working their way through the first section of A3. And now going to the second section.
Yeah, and
Which I always thought this is one of the weirder... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, on my screen, they look like they're almost synced. They're almost neck and neck.
Yeah, Larry just missed a jump and had to go and re-rack, and that basically put them dead even right now. Coach just a slight bit ahead. So I always thought this was the weirdest part of the game as far as, I don't think they intended to have these stages in this order, because you just go back into the pyramid for no reason, and
yeah.
It didn't really make sense to me. But then I thought, maybe with the map, because this is supposed to be South America, maybe this is like a Mayan temple that you're in, like you go in the jungle and then you're in a Mayan temple.
Is this supposed to be South America? I thought it was. Isn't it Africa, or is that later? I thought South America was towards the end after you do the Wild West.
No, you're right. You're right. This is Southern Africa. Yeah, that was my mistake. What is this guy? This is they're both facing the. I only remember his name because it has Buzz in the title.
I don't.
The Buzz Machine or something like that.
Yeah. Larry. He takes them out though, and Coach is not that far behind, it doesn't look like. Alright. I got Larry's stream up and running just fine now.
Alright, done with Section A, and on to Section B here.
So this stage
is
is
Australia.
one of my least favorites in the whole game. Both the first half and the second half. Just not a huge fan. With the whales and the octopus.
Yeah, there's a few tricky parts. It's really hard to get a good rhythm here. There's just so many different enemies, and I mean, it's a fairly simple game, but like really to get it fine-tuned, there's so many different areas where you need to throw that bomb like exact, just to speed everything up, you know, reduce lag.
Yeah, I think the fact that it's simple is part of what makes it so hard to speedrun, is because it's been so heavily optimized that a small miss is basically a run killer for the top level speedrunners of this game.
But yeah, that gap being reduced pretty nice here. Back to almost neck and neck. Larry taking a little bit of a lead.
Yep. Not much though.
And Larry enters his battle against the Vroom Roadster. Right after that is Koachkrab, same fight. Pretty simple boss fight. You just kind of got to stand in the middle like they're both doing and chuck bombs down. You just have to know the pattern when he stops, because once he starts going fast, it's hard to time it out.
Yeah, and these are safe strats too, right? The speedrunners, the real speedrunners actually sit in the bottom there.
Yeah, since he goes back and forth on the bottom so much and so quickly, if you have enough life to tank damage, you can still throw bombs and keep putting damage on him. But again, it's definitely dangerous.
Well, we're on to the one and only underwater level. It's hard to believe, but if you hold down the A button, you actually swim a little bit faster.
Yeah, I'm almost convinced that that's true at this point, Dick Jake.
Something that I've learned recently
that is
you can actually swim around most of these crabs and things. You don't have to blow them up. You can just go right around them if you want to.
Yeah, I kind of try to stay above or below, but for the most part, I just kind of swim through them.
Yeah, I think
because there's enough health refill here. Yeah,
tanking hits is a pretty good strat on this stage, I think.
Yeah, especially because the boss is not very threatening at all. Once you play him a couple times, you kind of know how to get around, so it's not like you really need that extra life refill.
Speaking of taking hits, Larry is just damage boosting through everything, basically.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with that.
For somebody who proclaims to not like this game very much, Larry does have the route down.
Yeah, he's improved very significantly.
He is on record as saying that he did want to finish this and actually put up a time. He didn't want to be the guy forfeiting all 3 of his runs, so I think he might have taken it a little seriously and done some practice before this race.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was going to be the new Joshy D for sure, but
well, Joshy D's not even the ultimate loser though. That was VGT.
No, that's true. I was going to say that as well. Man, Larry did very well. Almost got the perfect cycle on that boss. He just had to have that one extra bomb, and now he's off to China, Candyland. I think it's China. It's hard to tell.
I think it's Japan,
map,
probably.
No, Japan is after. Just the way that the map ends, like it looks like it snakes through China, you know, and then ends up in Japan. So with the two sections of this level, I would guess that one is
Oh, I see what you're saying.
the continental Europe or Asia.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But I'm looking too far into the geography of this game.
This is a pretty tricky stage, especially the section that you saw Larry just go through there with those 3 pillars. I've seen a few players die there. That's a big time loss.
There's 2 sections where you have those dragonflies that can knock you into a situation where you have to backtrack or actually knock you into a pit. Which there's very few in that game, as we see Coach getting through that same section. And doing okay. Larry had that lead, lost it a little bit, but has managed to extend it back, so he's got a pretty comfortable lead here.
Yeah, not quite half a stage, but pretty close. This is, I think, one of the easier bosses in the game, Penelope Pit Stop here.
It's interesting that you say that, because I have trouble with her.
Oh, really?
I seem to always get off rhythm. And I was going to say something with Larry, it looked like he took that extra bone at the end to get rid of his health refill, but there was actually absolutely no problem for him. Oh wow, and Coach having a little trouble there at the end, and barely made that jump. I didn't even know you could make that jump. That would have been a big backtrack for him.
Yeah, that was really close. So on to the ice stage, which is really not that much more difficult than any of the other ones. Especially if you just float the whole way through, the ice doesn't even really matter.
Yeah, this is one of the easier levels. There's just a couple of snowmen that can get in your way, but other than that, you can just kind of toss bombs. And yeah, Larry is a full section ahead. It's hard to gauge it, but he's in the clouds here with Choke just starting Alaska.
Yeah, it's I mean, still 3 stages left, so certainly far from over, but looking like Larry's race to lose right now.
Yeah, definitely good for Larry. He's certainly improved here.
I think probably
He's not
just
using the...
feeling better.
Yeah, that's got to be a big part of it. On that section, he really slowed down and wasn't using the hover. That was interesting. I would be curious to why he did that. And I feel that this is one of the easier bosses in the game, as far as he just kind of goes back and forth, the Crimson Hay Baler.
Yeah, the only annoying thing is, I think he's got a fair amount of RNG, so you never really know where he's gonna turn, but...
Does he?
I don't think his pattern's the same. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
I'm pretty sure he does this. I'm pretty sure he does the same thing every time.
Larry's taking a pit stop through his hometown here in New York.
Suburban. I don't know if he lives in the suburbs or the city, but well, Long Island, so that is like the suburbs, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so.
I've never been to New York.
I like the angry pigs. I'm a little confused at what the robot dogs are about, but...
Oh yeah, great variety of enemies here in New York City. When you get to the rooftops, that New York skyline just goes on forever. Quite the metropolis.
Yeah, and this is a tricky section too, because those cats are always right where you're wanting to land.
They seem to be the only enemy in the game that has any extent of, I wouldn't call it RNG, but they kind of move based on the position of where you're standing. Everything else just kind of has their own pattern.
Yeah.
But those cats will like run towards you if you're on the same plane. The vertical plane is the horizontal plane, I mean. And this is one of the more difficult bosses in the game right here.
What is it, the Anthill Gang? Anthill Mob?
They're called the Roaring Plenty.
Oh.
According to the graphic that I'm looking at.
Interesting. Larry seems to have it down. He is on
Yeah,
it.
I think he got some good practice in. Yeah, if he could keep this up, he's doing very well. Huge difference to what we've seen from him so far. And off to Texas.
Yep, the Wild West. Those guys in the ponchos fire the same little purple bullets that the skunks do in the next stage. I'm not sure what
I
that
never
means.
put that together. I'm not sure what that means either. Wow, Coach having some trouble here. You better be careful. He might take a death to this boss. He's still in the first phase too. He has looks like he has no confidence.
I think he's
It looks like
recovered now.
Yeah, he has some good safe strategies. I don't really think he's going to get damaged out. As Larry does some speed lunking.
Whoop. Just lost Larry's stream. Let me see if I can get it back. There he is.
And Larry doing battle with the Arkansas Chugabug.
Yeah, I got a
That's a good name.
big old bear sitting in the back.
See, so I wonder if that means you're actually in the caves of Arkansas here or not. I don't know. I'm just for some reason I have a concern with the geography logic of this game.
Larry's on the final stage of the game, so what is that?
Yeah, it seems like he's putting up a really good time. We had that one death that was, you know, probably cost him about 20 seconds or so, but other than that, I mean, looking really good. And from what we've seen, it seems like we're going to need Larry to really fall apart to get Coach back into it. I mean, if he, I won't try to.
I don't know if he's listening to the stream or not, but, you know, if you're Larry and you know that you're ahead, then you're basically just trying not to do anything dumb on this last stage.
See, I always found that interesting. I didn't even know that you're allowed to watch streams in a race. But I also never once I realized that was a thing, I was like, why? I don't know what the benefit would be.
Oh, if it's not random, it's totally fair game, because what does it really matter at that point?
Yeah.
There's nothing to be spoiled.
I just don't understand the
Well, you
Because
can't.
if you're trying to win a race, you want to go as fast as possible. It doesn't matter where your opponent is.
Well, it does though. I mean, if you have the option to take some safer strats because you know you're ahead.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't really know any high-risk strats for this game, though.
Yeah, it's all about the same.
And Larry is on our final boss here. The Boulder Mobile.
Captain Caveman and Son is what Larry likes to call him.
It's on the second phase of the boss. Takes 9 hits. And there it is. Oh, very good time from Larry.
Yeah, that is a great time from Larry. That's better than my PB.
Shaved about, 75 minutes off his, off his PB?
Yeah, something like that.
I'll have to ask him about that.
Well, you'll have your chance because I think he just stepped into the booth with us. What's up, Larry? Congratulations.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Good race, Larry. Did
Thank
very
you.
well.
Yeah, I'm shaking a little bit. I got to be honest.
You'll
Did
have your
I
chance
died
'cause
in
think
A3,
he just
didn't I?
stepped into the booth with us. What's up, Larry?
Yes, you
Hey,
did. That
what's
was
going
really
on,
the only
guys? Thank
mistake
you.
that I could that I would be able to bring up through that race.
I had minor things here and there. I've been trying to route it a little bit better because I've just been playing more or less. I haven't been because I was sick and all that. I haven't had the time to really like watch other people play other than the restreams I did. So in a couple of the stages, I've tried to do a few things to minimize the amount of times I have to use bombs to kill things, because it brings about lag, and there's a little bit of a timing delay to it for those who haven't played this game. And it's frustrating at times when you're like, you're mashing the button and the bomb's not coming out, and then you get hit by the enemy and then you fall and whatever. But A3 is not the place I expected to do it, though, to die.
Yeah, you had a really good lead on Coach up to that point. I don't know if you were watching or not, but
I was not, no.
But yeah, once that happened, you basically went back to 0. So your 30-second lead just kind of evaporated. But then you were doing everything else correctly, and I mean, Coach seems like all of his runs were identical from the beginning of this tournament. But you were able to just kind of do little by little and chip away, and then by the end, you were almost a full stage ahead of him.
Did he die, or was he just slow in progression?
He died very early on the first stage.
Yeah.
And then on a couple of the bosses, maybe?
Yeah, he definitely was taking a lot longer on the bosses, for sure.
I don't know how to fight Penelope Pit Stop.
I mean, you did crazy good there. I think that was better than any fight I've seen against her, because she's one of my more difficult bosses. I don't know how to do her, but I think you did very well against her.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like I'm doing well when I fight her. I've noticed that when you do it, you stand like on the block right next to her. And
yeah,
I
kind of try to jump and hit her as she's going down. But the trouble is, if you miss one of those bombs, you get off a rhythm, and then she's always in the air, and you just keep missing and missing. That's the problem that I have.
Yeah, it's. I guess I have to watch the world record run, see how it's done.
Yeah, probably just sits in the middle and just like tanks damage, just jumps into her.
I did set myself up to take a health refill for A2 and one other boss, so I can just kind of sit there and just tank it a little bit. I think A3 also.
Yeah, I think I noticed that for Penelope. I don't know if you accidentally grabbed a bone at the end that got rid of your health refill, but you didn't even need it. I think you only took like 1 damage to her.
No, I used the health refill before I grabbed that last bone for her stage, I think.
Oh, okay.
I used it. I think I was down a heart. I used it and then for some reason decided to jump up and grab that last bone before I went in. It's just, as a casual, it's very hard to get away from collecting all the things.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
what's
Coach.
up, Coach?
Not much. Good race, Larry.
Thank
Way
you.
to go, man.
You too. That's PB, right?
Yeah, by about 45 seconds, something like that. Yeah.
Nice.
I
I
was gonna
guess
say
it's a PB for you too.
I would say that's a PB for Larry by about 75 minutes.
Yeah, I think it is.
Well, it depends. I mean, if we go with the six days, 23 hours, 59-minute rule, it's a
Yeah.
PB by more than that.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, we can tack that on as well.
So now we have a three-way tie. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yep.
So
Oh
we're gonna
wow,
have to have a
I
race
didn't
off.
even realize that.
Yes, it's a three-way tie between.
That means we have to play. That means we have to play more wacky races.
That is correct. Yes, between Coach Crab, Angry Larry, and Joshy D. There's a three-way tie.
Oh wow, that's exciting.
Yep.
Yeah, more wacky races of a game that I have not been practicing. Wahoo!
And it was your pick for the winning the last season.
It was. It was. I mean, and I would be enjoying this game a lot more if I was just able to practice it more, but I just have not been motivated to do that at all.
We have the potential for the same thing to happen tonight, the other bracket as well. We'll see how that turns out, though.
Should be fun.
Are we calling it the play-in race, pinching a loaf? Or no?
Did you have to pause to go to the bathroom at all tonight, Larry?
No, but I very early on I died, and I'm like, here we go. Like,
I did too. I died in level 1 because when you don't get the hearts quick enough, because you only have 3 hearts at the beginning.
yeah.
I took a death there.
So one of the things I realized when trying to practice for this game is if you are continuing to practice for this game, or anybody who's playing this and may want to run for a good time or whatever, don't reset when you die, because you're going to need a backup strategy when you don't have the bomb, when you don't have the hover, and you gotta know what to do.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, I've never reset when I've played this game. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean that's just good advice, especially for the format when we run it this way.
Yeah, and I think I need to work on my boss fights. My boss fights are just kind of slow.
Yeah, that's definitely because when Larry took that death, Coach, you guys were about neck and neck coming into B1, and it just little by little, his boss fights were. Yeah, he was just gaining about 5-10 seconds on you for each one, and then he was almost a full stage ahead of you by the end.
There really is I mean, the boss fights in this game. That really is the difference maker. That's what I thought it was going to be from the beginning, because
Yeah,
it's really just walk to the right with all the other stages.
Yeah, definitely.